Senator Van.
Thank you, Madam Acting Deputy President. I rise today to talk about energy prices, something that I know every Australian household is interested in. Yesterday, the Australian Energy Regulator released its draft default market offer determination. At best, and luckily in my home state of Victoria, there was a 7% decrease on that offer. That is the ceiling in which energy retailers can set their highest price. In some states and for some consumers, there were actually price increases. Now, this is on the back of the last 2 years. Last year there was a 22% increase, I believe, and the year before that there was a 10% increase. The premise for those price increases was that energy prices had gone up because of the war in Ukraine, which we know had some effect on it. But since then, we've seen a 70% decrease in wholesale energy prices for coal and a 38% decrease for gas. Yet the AER comes out and says, no, at best we're going to give you a 7% decrease on your energy prices. I don't know how they get to this number. This is just the Australian energy system being rorted for retailers, for transmission companies, and it's not in Australian households' interest. The AER goes on to say that in their draft determination that some of the costs have gone up in their network, in the network costs, that is the poles and wires that deliver the energy from the generation to your house. These costs are extraordinary and are only going up. AEMO, through its ISP process, its Integrated System Plan, is proposing that Australian consumers pay for another $100 billion worth of poles and wires. That's being underwritten, the seed funding, by $20 billion of taxpayers' money via the Rewiring the Nation plan. Now, let's have a quick talk about transmission, which is the poles and wires that are delivering energy. They were historically needed. When Sir John Monash was asked to start the SEC in Victoria and to electrify Melbourne, he looked for a source of fuel for energy, and he found coal down in the Latrobe Valley. So he built the generation down there and he built transmission to bring it up to Victoria, up to Melbourne. That is no longer necessary. With the cleaner energy technology that Australia possesses, we no longer need to transmit energy far distances. We can put the generation where the load is because the fuel is everywhere. The sun is everywhere most of the time. Wind is in separate places. But the idea of building generation out in the far reaches of the countryside and transmitting it into Australia is century-old thinking. Our technology, our clean energy technology, has got past that. We no longer need to spend these obscene amounts of money to transmit energy into where the demand is. It's just going to drive up energy bills more and more, and it's not necessary. In the not-too-distant future, I'm going to be calling for a Senate inquiry into Australia's energy system, where senators get to look at the prices that were being paid, that the amount of transmission that's being forced through processes that the AER are not enforcing the rules, and that will hold the whole energy system to account, and finally give Australians some transparency about the energy prices they're being asked to pay.